fourth key for turning your passion into profit is focus on money-making activities. And I think, again, like in the beginning, this can be really hard to do because like the amount of people that I have worked with, and I used to do this, who focus on like busy work, like a website is like a key example of this. Like you start your baking business or you start your makeup business, and the first thing that you want to do is like you want to look good online. So you spend hours and hours like making this beautiful website for people to use. And a website is an important thing. But really, like in the beginning, like all the time, like in your business, that's what makes it a business, right? And I think it's like a change in thinking, like, and it's something that you have to think about. Like if you do, like we care about the passion, we care about you being passionate about what you want to do, but you also have to be business minded. So like in the beginning, the most important thing that you can do for your business is go out there and find people who want what you're doing. So with the example of the makeup artist, like, yeah, like, you know, spend time like working on a beautiful website, but like also like you want to speak to clients and people who might potentially want you to do their makeup for them. Like spend time like reaching out to people, like whether it's like, you know, connecting with like, I don't know, like say you do wedding makeup, like spend time like DMing people, like wedding planners, like who, you know, have brides all of the time, like, you know, pitch your services to them. That's going to matter more than spending hours and hours and hours and hours like working on a beautiful website that no one's clicking on because no one knows about your services. Like figure out like what are the 2 or 3 things that actually make you money in your business and find a way to do more of those things. Again, like when I was, you know, coaching and when you're speaking, like, yeah, of course, like, you know, you want to work on like actually being good at what you do. But the biggest thing that I could do is like find people who potentially needed a coach, like speak to those people, go to events, like give out my business cards, like actually focus on making money. It's crazy the amount of people that go into business and you're spending all of your time like making your website look pretty. You're spending all of your time like, you know, making social media posts that don't actually tell people that, hey, I'm open to business. Like you're a photographer, like, yeah, you're honing in your skill, but what are you actually doing to let people know that like, hey, I'm open to working with people? What are your money generating activities? Yeah. And how can you spend more time working on those? And that's where systems come into play. So now, you know, you have your social media posts scheduled, so you're not thinking about that every day, and instead you can wake up and see, okay, cool, what event can I go to today where there are going to be people that potentially are interested in what I'm doing? You know, if it's us for YouTube, like the number one activity that we can do is just keep putting videos out, because we make money through AdSense and obviously like brand deals. So we make sure that we keep doing that. Like that doesn't mean we don't work on stuff like making sure we have a nice banner and our branding is good. But again, we recognize that if we want this to be profitable, if we want this to be something that actually sustains us, we have to spend time doing those revenue generating activities. And how you know often that's a revenue generating activity is this thing that you have resistance to. Like it's the sales call that you don't really want to have. Like it's the conversation around, you know, budget that you don't really want to have. Like it's those activities that, you know, can be a little bit difficult at first, but they're the things that are actually going to move the needle and put you in a position. Because again, like passion is amazing, but you also need to be making money, right? Like to sustain yourself. So yeah, I don't know if you'd add anything.
Yeah, no, I agree with all of that. And I think the other thing that's maybe helped me is, I guess, and we've talked about this before, but almost like working out my hourly rate.
Yeah.
So, like, if I know, and you can actually get to a number with this. So if you know how much you get paid, you know, in my case for speaking,
Yeah.
if I speak for an hour, I know it's X amount. And so if I have an hour to spare,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, should I be using that time to find more speaking opportunities? Or should I be playing with the fonts for my website on Canva? Right?
Yeah, for 2 days.
Yeah, for 2 days. And so I think that decision becomes clearer if you're able to kind of make it objective, like put a number to it. And then that makes you, I guess, more, what's the word? Yeah, it is objective, just to say, okay, this is what I'm going to focus 80% of my time on, and all the other, like 20% of stuff, that can go to somebody else, or someone who is even more experienced and a better expert than me on all of those things, because we've got limited time. And I think especially for us, you know, working together, working from home, and also having a 1-year-old who's not in daycare, so you have to be super efficient. You might only get 2 hours
Yeah, too good. Like if we're lucky, we'll
to
get
get
2
everything
hours
done,
to do focus work.
right? And so I was thinking, like, how can I get the most bang for my buck in those 2 hours?
Yeah, and I think that's something you're really good at. Like I think I have more of a leaning or propensity to do like busy work, and you're like, what's our one thing like that we need to do to move our business forwards? Like, is it to send this email to this brand? Like, is it to record this video? And do the one thing first. Like, do the one thing that will grow your business first. And then if you have time, like play with fonts and decide which one might be your best. But make sure like you get into a habit of kind of like doing that, like really important money generating activities first and early in your day, especially if you're in a position where I imagine a lot of people will be, where you have a full-time job and currently you're trying to fit your passion around that. Like get into that habit of, you know, doing that really important, sometimes hard thing first.
Yeah, it's like that book, Eat the Frog, by, I think it's Brian Tracy. And yeah, to your point earlier about it's that thing that you don't want to do. It's the frog,
Yeah.
you know, that you don't want to face first thing in the morning. That is actually the thing that you should be facing.